What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Crap. I'm your host, Christian, here with my main man, Rex. How's it going today, Rex?
Not too bad. How's it going?
It's cold, bro.
Yeah.
We got this cold front from you freaking northerner states. No, that's throwing it down like, dude, the mornings are bad. The mornings, oh my God. Like this week coming up.
Open on you.
I sent you a picture like this week coming up, like this whole week in the mornings, we're in the 40s and Wednesdays, we're going to be in the 30s. I'm like, I left Virginia for this. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is not where I came down to Florida from. But I saw on the news that it said the United States as a whole, the average temperature is actually down 14 degrees. And it's the coldest it's ever been in like 40 or 50 years that they've been like tracking the United States average.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know it's a problem because normally Florida, Texas, Cali keeps the temperatures up rising for the United States, but not right now.
Yeah, it's just a national drop in temp right now. Just a huge cold front. But yeah, no, these Canadian cold mornings feel no sympathy for you right now. But yeah, oh my gosh, getting in the car is brutal,
dude.
Because I understand like why everybody was like, oh man, like older cars are better because you know the steel and all the material, it holds cold really well.
It does.
So
it does. Do you not have a remote start?
No, I can get one, but to be honest, a remote start doesn't make sense if it's not a newer car that's gonna turn the heat on anyways.
You gotta leave the heat on at night. So like when you turn off your car, just leave it on. Leave it like switched on. So when you do the remote start, it cuts on.
Yeah, but again, if your car is in idle, it really does take a longer time.
Yeah.
For it to
I remember. To go, and I've had but you know what? Like I said, 10 minutes out, bro. Just 10 to 15 minutes. That's all you really need. You'll be good.
You know, but so I was like reading up last night because you know I'm on days now, so I'm like, man, like I'm just tripping about the cold because you know, like you cold because when I was working at the shelter, I had to work outside and stuff like that, and when you work out in like friggin' negative 20 to 40 degree weather, that's traumatizing. Like, yeah, you got to do what you got to do for sure. You know what I mean? And I understand it's the nature of the job, but I mean, shit,
dude,
that was not fun. That was
I don't blame you. Like, yo, my car's in the garage, and even still in the garage, it's cold. Like, I get in, I'm like, whoo, it's cold, and it's just been crazy, bro. Like, we cut on the heat. We couldn't do it anymore. Like, we went a couple of days without cutting on the heat, and like literally I wake up in the morning and my house is like 64 degrees inside my house. And that's kind of cold. Like normally I got the AC running at like 70, but 64? Yeah, that was crazy. So
no, I get that. It's a different kind of cold than like the AC cold or house circulating temp, you know what I mean? Like that outside weather, getting in the crib, that's
dude. I'm talking about I had on long pants, shirt, socks, everything to try to keep me warm, and I couldn't, man. I couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. My wife definitely couldn't do it. Like I didn't cut it on this morning. I think it was like at 64, but it was this afternoon. My wife was like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm too cold. I put the heat on. I was like, that's fine. I get it. Dude, so. Man. It is what it is, but anyway,
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say this before we get on to the other topic because I think this will help all my fellow northerners when it comes to this. So reading up on how to efficiently make your car warm. All right, everybody, get your pens, papers. All right, we got them. Good. Turn on the heat circulation, but just for the feet. Crank it. Why? Because hot air rises.
Oh yeah.
What ends up happening is that people just, as you say, you know, by the time you get to wherever your destination is, you got, you know, the full face and feet cranked, right? So it doesn't matter at that point. But once, you know, everything cools down again, you want to set it back to the feet. And then, like I said, put on blast, hot air rises, and then even like I said, my car's an '06, but most cars really only need like 30 seconds for like the oil and stuff to get around in the engine. Then if you're running a standard, you run a low rev, high RPMs, right? Obviously, don't burn your shit out,
Yeah.
but you basically run it so that the engine can kind of, you're like nursing it, right? So run it in a way that the engine kind of is running not too rough or not too high, but it gives it enough good pace, right? So you just nurse it. And within 2 to 3 minutes, you'll start feeling like heat. So by the time you get to, your first second light, you're already feeling a lot warmer than turning on just the heat on high for like the face, and then you're like blowing cold air into your hands and face for like 5 minutes straight.
I never thought
When
about that,
you can do
honestly,
yeah,
doing that,
when
putting
you
the
can
heat
do
on.
on the feet, and then turning it high because hot air rises, and your feet are most likely either going to be cold or you won't feel it anyways. So then all you'll feel is just the heat coming up, right? And like I said, you just nurse the engine, you let it run a little, and yeah, and you're good to go. Because yeah, I mean, I get it, some people do the 5-10 minutes, the remote starter, all that kind of stuff, but what I've noticed is that certain cars, they will run heat at idle, and other cars they don't. But how people get around that is that they run a high idle time, like 10-15 minutes, which I'm not saying is not good, but I know, like passenger vehicles are a little more gentler on a car being idle, but you generally don't want to idle, right? Like that's the whole point. It's not idling. Like you turn your car on, you're gonna go somewhere, whatever. You're not really trying to sit around in like 15-10 minutes, so but
Yeah.
that's just like a it's just a helpful tip where, again, that's just a helpful tip where you don't have to, you want to avoid the 10-15 minutes, just get in your car, let it warm up for like 30 seconds, let the engine warm up for 30 seconds, run the air circulator on the feet high, keep the circulation so it keeps the air in the that's another important thing, keeps the air in the car. And then
Mm,
yeah, hot air rises, it gets hotter quicker, nurse the engine, don't beat on it. And then yeah, in less than 2 to 3 minutes, you'll have sufficient heat.
nice. Nice. That's definitely something good to try out. I'll probably try that tomorrow. Um, while I'm sitting in my heated seats, so
Yeah, you'd already be cooking before
I
your front
already,
tires crack the pavement of
I
public
tell you,
road.
I love my heated seats. I love my car being the hybrid it is. That thing does amazing in gas.
Mhm.
It's just awesome. But anyways, bro, real quick, leftovers. Americans just had Thanksgiving.
Yes,
How
yes,
many
happy thanks
days
happy
after
post
can you have
Thanksgiving.
leftovers?
It depends on where you are in your life. If you're a college student coming out, you can effectively get it before. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Think
yeah,
about this.
for
Think about
Americans,
it.
no, okay, yeah, because I was gonna say for Canadians it's different because I was thinking Canadian. Actually, let me give both. If it's Canadian, you can make it last until about the American Thanksgiving. If you're American in college, remember this is for the college hungry belly kids that don't get a lot. Take everything home, put it in the fridge. As long as it's like the meats, not anything that's gonna go quick, you could essentially make that last around Christmas. You can make that last till
What?
Christmas dinner. Yeah. If you're a hungry college student, but if you're, grown folk paying bills, took over leftovers, got a couple plates,
Yeah.
that
No,
three
that
days,
is not
three
good.
days tops.
That's not good.
3 days tops.
All right.
That's what it's a college student. It's not supposed to be
Oh,
good. This is sustenance.
see,
We don't
it's the problem with you
college
peoples.
college
No,
students don't eat properly. They just need something
that's the
to keep the
problem.
heart
So just
pumping.
to let you know, for the people listening, scientists have said this from Mayo Clinic. that the max amount of days you should ever eat a leftover is 3 to 4 days. After that, you risk food poisoning and you risk other ailments from it. Also, when you heat or reheat, you have to reheat at 165 degrees or higher to make sure you reach the temperature to like help kill a lot of the bacteria. So, I am a person though. I don't eat leftovers. I'm a grown ass man. You ain't feeding me no fucking leftovers. I want fresh food every day, and it's just a mind thing because my wife does it. So she cracks me up. She'll be like, "Oh yeah, I just made this," and I'm like, "Damn, I feel like we ate this yesterday." Like, what's going on here? But some things I can't lie. I can eat leftovers like steak and all that, but like there's certain things I can't do. I can't do leftovers.
No. I get that. But that's what I'm saying. It's a college student when you either have to walk 40 minutes in the cold, or you can
talking
warm
a
up
month
that ham,
though, dude. Come on, man. No way.
You can make it last.
No.
You keep it in the fridge cold, chilling.
You know what? And you're gonna be one of the people that's gonna end up in Mayo Clinic. You'll be there in Mayo Clinic.
Oh, bro, they're gonna cut me open, and it's gonna be a lot of question marks. There's gonna be a lot of things. I'm gonna go to Area 51. It's gonna go special place. They're gonna just send each part of my body to everybody, and they gonna have to come together and crack the code. But it's funny that you mentioned, making sure you cook it a certain way, or like alcohol. But like, just remember, you're a college student. You're basically 98%.
No, I never even as a college student. I never did that.
Comes in, you've killed all the bacteria.
Even as a college student, I did that. It's funny. State Food Safety Manager certification has stated that you should throw your food out no less than 7 days. So at 7 days is like the max that thing needs to go in the trash. But Mayo Clinic says you shouldn't eat anything after the 4th day. So listen, I never ever. I think a day max when I was young in my early teens or late teens, early 20s, a day to 2 days max. Not even. I think it was just a day because I got really bougie when I moved up to New York. Like I was like eating out every single day, almost every meal. That's how I gained all my weight, bro. I was skinny before I moved. Bro, huh?
Were you in the city?
Yeah, I was, bro.
See, that's different.
Dude,
I was in the sticks.
Listen,
I was basically in Syracuse, but like an hour and a half away from Syracuse.
When I tell you, I ate everything out. I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, dinner. I spent money like I was balling. Like,
no, I understand.
But leftovers, you ain't catching me with leftovers.
I understand.
You gotta lie to me and be like, you just made it. It's gotta look like you just made it too.
I was living out in the sticks, man. There was nothing. It was rough. It was rough, and we had no car back then, so we had our own. We had lefty and righty, and everything was almost. It was an hour plus round trip trying to get to the nearest place.
I tell you, man.
It was just all like long. It was just like this big suburbia. That's where I was staying at one of my colleges.
Suburbia.
Yeah. It's one of those where like transit, like there's no trains. Transit stops running at like 9 on like a weekend, on like a Sunday or something like that. I think they don't even go up to like 11. I think like the last bus in certain areas run up to like 10:58 or something like that. So good luck if you work a 4 to 12, you got to walk home.
Damn. Yeah, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck.
So when you get caught up in those places, you gotta harbor. You gotta do what you have to do.
Hear that? All right. Here's the next question for you.
All right.
When building something, do you read the instructions or do not read?
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm not even gonna. I mean, I used to. Okay.
You used to what?
I used to not. I used to just look at the picture. Like say if it was like Lego or like a
No, not Lego. Like
bathroom
actually building
fixture.
something.
Okay, like let's say it's like a bathroom fixture that
Okay.
holds like, loofahs, shower stuff, and
Yeah.
all that kind of whatever, right? I'll tend to look at the picture and I can just build it off of that. Okay, I'm like, this is piece one, piece two,
Oh yeah.
piece
Put
three,
together.
put the thingy, and but then there's certain, nuances in when you're building where it's like, okay, now it shows you like piece 3Q, and it's like this. And you're like, where does this piece go? It could go literally anywhere. And then so that's when I may break out the manual to be like, okay, I need to see where this actually goes. And then I realized like, yo, you might as well just, when you get intricate pieces, like if it's not like, if I look at it and if the brain doesn't register, seems pretty straightforward enough, I'll just break out the book. And then now a lot of the book is just picture diagrams. So it's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
hate that.
do this. So I prefer that. Like me and IKEA, I would be like I should be a licensed tech at putting IKEA
Oh well,
furniture
come
together.
put our IKEA stuff together because I hate IKEA shit. Their
I
instructions are
got you. Fly me
horrible,
out. Fly me out.
horrible,
Fly
horrible.
me out. I'll come in shorts. It's a party for me. That's fine. That's fine. Fly me out.
Dude, it's
I'm
horrible.
coming in
I can't.
with my little Amazon toolbox too.
I noticed
No, I got too much metal.
a lot of
The
companies now
airport
been
won't let me
coming
on.
with a lot of companies now been coming with barcodes that you can scan and watch a video on how to build it, which I find that a lot more helpful than
Go to
because
YouTube video.
sometimes these instructions it'd be like part A put here and then it's like perfect example we just bought this dog crate and
Mhm.
like there's 3 screws that go on the top, 4 that go on the bottom, right? And then you have the 3 screws, but it's hard to tell if it's on the left side that it needs to be or it needs to be on the right side.
Yeah, I
And
hate that. Yeah, I
I'm
know
just
what you're
like,
talking about.
oh,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on, man. Like I
yeah,
just
yeah.
screwed all this together to unscrew now because it's put in wrong.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's
No, the video helps. The video
I
helps for
prefer the
sure.
videos. I'm a fan of the
Yeah,
videos. I like how the
yeah.
videos work. So
Because you can actually see someone putting it together, and then you can just mirror that. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like it's pretty straightforward. But I get what you're saying. Like, because like the ones where it's like it shows it on an angle, and you're like, is it the left side or the right side?
Exactly. You're like, am I looking at it this way?
Sometimes they show like one of the ends being a little bit smaller, or there's like little indications. But what's also annoying is when you're putting something together and the manufacturers mess up. So now you have to kind of jerry rig whatever you got going on. So like I think it was like my desk, my computer desk is like one of the bolts, or the way that they did it was like a little slightly off. So I kind of had to like widen and fill one side so that I could kind of make it more flush.
I agree. I agree with you.
And
I
that
just
to me
opened up
was
this web
easier.
page and it's like super
Mhm.
fucking bright right now. I'm over here like,
Yeah, I
what?
just seen you just get flashbang. That's
I
crazy.
was like,
Got me
gee.
rubbing my eyes. That's how bright it was. I see little
Dude, I
electronic
don't get it. I
glasses.
got dark mode set up, but not every web page is set for dark mode.
I don't know why they do that. I think they do it on purpose. I don't know why. It's crazy that we had a life without dark mode.
I know, right?
That you'd really wake up in the middle of the night and check your phone, and you knew you're about to get fucked up. Like you
Yeah.
knew you're about to just fry whatever was behind those eyes. Yeah, brightness is on max, and then I remember like iPhones, they did like the ember mode, and they
Yeah.
started doing like that. But that still would, if the brightness was still on, that actually probably cooked your eyes more because it was red. So if you had that on with the brightness on high, that just went right into the warms of your retinas, and that just that just simmered it.
Yeah.
But
What's something you think what's something that's not safe that common people do every day?
that's not safe that common people do every day.
Yeah, there's some things on this list I'm like, okay, I agree with, but there's some things I'm just like,
See, I could be lame and just say go outside,
nope, that's not on the
but
list.
yeah, fair. But hmm, honestly, it really for me right now, just thinking it's just driving. the good old. It's not about you. It's who else is out there on the road, right?
Driving, and why would you say driving? For what?
Um.
Driving's up here 3 times
hmm
for 3 different things. What do you think the 3 common things are with driving?
I think it's either like stunt driving, reckless,
Nope.
like speeding, mm, drunk drivers.
Drunk
That's for
drivers is
sure.
number
Yeah,
one. Driving under
yeah.
the influence of alcohol or drugs. What do you think next 2 are?
Mm,
Next 2, I was like, maybe okay.
hmm
I wouldn't think it was on the top of the list. So I was shocked.
I don't know. I can't like it's just a drunk driving. I would say like, but you already said no. Like, so it's not speeding.
Nope.
Um, I don't know, with crashes, accidents
Nope. It's something you do every day.
while driving.
I don't know if you do it while driving, but some people do while driving. A lot of people have done it more recently while driving because of the recent boom in this
What, like phones, distracted driving?
texting and driving. Number 2,
Okay.
and then number 3 is not wearing a seatbelt in driving.
Yeah, I can see that all being top three for sure. Right, drunk driving, because you know there are people out there that or whatever driving under the influence, right? With that, yeah, that's messy. Phones, yeah, that's definitely been a new distraction. I don't know, like Steven would love this, but I be on Reddit, so I have this, and people should follow. I think people should look up their own city's Reddit if they have this. But I've been following Toronto driving, so you literally just see the psychopaths that are on the roads, and then it's Reddit, so it's always wishy washy. So it's
Yeah.
like funny because you'll have an example of somebody the other day. They made like a like a sarcasm post, like saying somebody's radiator was working hard today, and it's a Yaris on fire on the highway, right on the side of the highway, but the person's filming it on their phone. So the comments, right? I see the video, and the first thing in my head is, oh, the comments are gonna eat OP alive because they're filming while driving, distracted driving. So he's not even gonna get, or OP's not even gonna get their point off because everybody else is just gonna comment that you are distracted driving. You're part of a bigger
Exactly.
problem, and then they're just gonna fight. And that's always essentially how a lot of some of these Reddit posts go, right? It's never about what is being posted. It's just about how other people react to the nonsense that's
Exactly.
going on. Right. And so, and you see things like that. So to me, that should just be funny. Um but yeah, no, I've seen people like, phone on stand on TikTok in traffic. Like what, like they're just watching, you know what I mean, and scrolling and stuff like that. And yeah, not wearing a seatbelt. Um
I don't do
Honestly,
that a lot. I'm a really bad person with that. Luckily, my new car,
mm,
the new work car I got, that shit goes off like as soon as you put it in drive, like a minute, not even a minute within driving. Like once you're like up to 5 miles an hour, it starts going off and
mhm,
it doesn't stop. Like I was like, oh, yo, stop.
yeah.
No, it keeps going. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I end up now putting my seatbelt on more often. But I do find myself like when I'm out of my work car and in
Mhm,
my regular car, because that doesn't
yeah.
go off as often, I just forget and
Mhm.
I just drive without it.
Well, I'll say this. You're a grown man, so I understand. You're gonna live this life as you
I've
want.
done it 37 years.
As a friend, I recommend it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know.
It's no, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, you're grown. That's why I started with a grown man. I ain't going to beat this dead horse. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Rest in peace, one stock. He was a race driver, race car driver, street car, whatever you want to call it. Um, and he was blown up in like the New York, race scene, whatever. Started off as a street driver, ended up going to the track, and he passed like a couple weeks ago, and whatever he's got, B58, like a BMW B58 engine, and essentially crashed, whatever,
And didn't have a
wasn't
seatbelt.
wearing this.
Yep. I see it. I see it every day. I see it all the time. Like with the field I'm in, with an insurance and an adjuster looking at vehicles all day long. I see it all the time. But I still don't do it. I tell you now, in high school,
you got the paramedic mindset. You know what I mean? That like the dark humor towards it. Yeah.
Yo, in high school, I was bad. I was talking about. I remember my first car. I went to the junkyard, cut the seatbelt off of another car, just the belt part, and clicked it into mine, so the damn seatbelt noise would go off, and I would drive around without a seatbelt.
Yeah, I ain't gonna drop no names, but I know a couple people like that. But
you do it.
You know, I do. You know what I do like? I don't know if it's the same applies out there, but if you get pulled over, whatever. If the person that chooses not to wear a seatbelt, like they only get ticketed.
If you're over the age of 16, I believe, you get ticketed.
Yeah, 16. Yeah,
same thing here.
Like basically able to drive, then you should be. So I do like that, because that was annoying, because that used to actually cause problems with people, because some people would either like to sit in the back or sit wherever, and it's always funny to me, I don't mean to I don't mean to lower the bar or move the goalpost, but I definitely want to cause some chaos. But it's always funny when people that don't drive don't want to wear a seatbelt. I'm like, I don't think you have the privilege to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like it's a code of right of like, if you drive, if you're you got your license, whatever, and you have a car and you choose not to wear a seatbelt, and you want to go on other people's and not wear a seatbelt, by all means, do you. But if you have no car, you gotta take public transportation, all that kind of stuff, you better buckle up when you're in somebody's car. But now, like, with that change, it's just made it easy, because like I said, you would see that cause problems with people, all because they just don't want to wear a seatbelt. And the other person doesn't want to get ticketed, so it made no sense for that. So
it still causes problem though, because I think it's 16 and older. That person gets the ticket, but I still think you get the ticket because you're the driver and they're in your vehicle as well. And you're supposed to hey, you need to click it, or you can't ride with me. I believe that's how it is, or it could be wrong. Do you wear a seatbelt when you're in the back seat?
Oh yeah, I wear a seatbelt all the time.
All the time?
No matter what, all the time. Middle seat, behind the passenger, behind the driver, passenger. Only time I don't wear a seatbelt is if I'm on a bus, school bus, anything that doesn't have a seatbelt. But if we all got a seatbelt, I'm tucked in.
That's interesting. For
I'm
me,
too big. I'm too big not to have to wear a seatbelt, because if we go rolling, I'm going somewhere. I'm not gonna flip and be in the same place. My ass is gonna be across the way. So at least if I could have something to hold me down, because I'm not trying to count on having somebody break my fault. All right, I'd rather have that seatbelt and keep me at least an attempt and tucked in, because more often than not they do save lives, right? It's a hard argument to you know what I mean, to battle against, right? Like at the end of the day, it's a kind of like, my body, my choice, right? And it's in a sense it is. So it's like, by all means, go for it, sure. But the argument does. Heavy's that wears the crown, right? In that sense. So
I'll end it with saying I don't wear a seatbelt if it's somebody I know driving and I'm in the backseat and I feel comfortable with them driving. But if it's not somebody I know, then I wear a seatbelt in the backseat.
No, Uber.
Oh, definitely Uber. Uber automatic seatbelt. But anyways, guys, that's the end of today's episode. Let us know what you guys think. What do you guys do? First off, for leftovers, how often or how far back do you let leftovers go? 3-5 days, like Mayo Clinic says, 7 days, like the state inspector said. Like, what do you do? Do you eat leftovers, or are you like me now, where it's like, nah, you too grown for leftovers? Like, I want fresh food every day, unless somebody tricks you into it. And then also let us know about the safety stuff. What do you guys think about the safety? Do you wear seatbelts? Do you text and drive? All that stuff. We'd love to hear from you, like always. Leave a message down below if you're watching on YouTube. Love to hear from you. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, thumbs up button. We appreciate you guys for listening. Like always, if you're on the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the other iHearts, we appreciate you guys for listening. Till next time, you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.